listening to Free Talk with MrB.
Hey, hello. This is MrB. Welcome to Free Talk with MrB. Our guest today has something quite interesting because his highlight is he took the risk. And it seems like throughout his career, he kept taking the risk and winning. Let's listen to him as we carry on with Free Talk, because this is Free Talk. Free Talk with MrB. So, just keeping it easy.
Yeah.
I think you told me already you're from what part of India you said you're from? Your family.
So I was born in Mumbai, and then I got shifted with my one part of my family to a small town in which is next to Mumbai. It's called Daman. Yeah.
And you're with me here in Dubai at the same time, but you've been to a few other countries too.
Yeah.
Which ones were those?
I've been to countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei,
Wow.
Iraq, of course, Africa, Sri Lanka. Apart from that, which country I went? Qatar, Muscat. Yeah.
Did a lot of traveling for a young man. Some of those places are on my list too. Which one was your favorite? Because I really like how Singapore was so green.
Yeah, I like Singapore, and I'm personally in love with Thailand actually.
Okay.
Especially the outskirts.
Okay. Like I've been to Pattaya.
Yeah.
You've been down there?
Yeah, I've been there. I've been to Koh Samui, an island.
Okay, cool.
I've been to Bangkok.
And my favorite is in actually my favorite city is in Valencia, Spain. I just love it there. It just makes me feel real cool, real relaxed. Most of yours was for work?
No, it was only leisure.
Yes, only just traveling through.
Yeah. Just traveling, traveling, exploring.
Nice. And that was like before you started your family or after?
A bit, like 95% before.
Okay. Yeah, I know my work had taken me a lot of places, but it's really, really nice to kind of get all the eye openers of being all over the world.
True.
Right. So you're in my industry, the one I supposedly just left, that oil industry. And so,
right.
Yeah, I know the one in northern Iraq or parts of Iraq was for oil industry. For yourself, let's see, where else did you go based on your work?
Based on your work, it's only Iraq, Africa, and Muscat.
Okay, you keep saying Africa. Which part of Africa?
I went to Uganda.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I met some people here in Dubai from Uganda too, but I didn't know they had an oil industry there at all.
Actually, it was like for a company from Dubai. They wanted to actually put a fueling station there.
I see.
Yeah, so we went for a site survey there for 3 days.
Right. So how long you been doing that kind of stuff, that kind of oil industry, business engineering, process engineer? Because you're a process engineer, right?
Yeah, I'm a process engineer. Basically chemical engineer, and then I moved into this process field. Right.
And I think that part of the industry is what you're working on now too. And I'm laughing because I know you work with me on these kind of things even more recently than not. But your listeners sometimes
16 years.
16 years in the industry. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Because I know sometimes people wonder where their career will take them, and maybe even the decision factor in their career. What made you decide your career? I mean, we might have some young people listening. They may want to know.
So there was a belief at that time, probably around 20 years ago, that for a middle class person to earn well, and to be financially good throughout their life, the two professions which were really, really trusted by everyone was doctor and engineer, you know.
Okay.
So my father used to work for an engineering company in a non-engineering background, but he used to tell stories and he used to talk about all this commissioning and everything, and he used to be really fascinated of the stuff which engineers used to do in the plant, in the live plant, commissioning plant. So that was there instilled in the mind when I was growing up. And then I was not very bright, to be very honest, to become a doctor. So finally I got a engineering a college admission. Once I became an engineer, okay, I thought that once I will have my degree, there will be a red carpet in front of me, welcoming me that now you are an engineer and let us give you a better life, a good life. But that was not the case. I just realized that the struggle is yet to begin.
And it was very important that you had your degree, but no freebies per se. No freebies.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
I mean,
I started in operations. I started in operations, and I made it in a way that in 2 years my salary was like, let's say that time it was 10,000 rupees. But then because the setup was not good, or maybe things were not that professional in the setup, I found it very monotonous, and I decided to move into the design field. But I moved at 50% of my salary. So from 10,000 I moved to 5,000. Yeah.
But that was not here in Dubai. That was elsewhere.
No. It was in India.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what caused the transition to Dubai? Just searching, or how did that come about? Just from to Dubai.
Yeah. So what happened was that I found myself in a company which was running from a medium-sized apartment, and they were doing some engineering services work. Very small company, probably 40 people. But then I had this, my patient ran out of making more money. So I started, challenging myself, and I started taking more responsibility, which was observed by the boss there. So he gave me a sort of a control of that office and to manage like 30, 40 people at that time. This was in 2006 and 7. I was 26 at that time, and that's where I started getting engaged in a lot of things. So I started posting stuff. I started posting on job website that this is the project which I'm handling. This is so they actually searched me from a job website, a company here in Sharjah in UAE.
Okay.
And then they contacted me, and then they offered me the appointment.
Okay, so you certainly exerted yourself or took the risk.
Yeah. I had no clue. In fact, I had to search what kind of traditions is being followed, because I heard the name about Sharjah and Dubai and Abu Dhabi, but there was no one in my closest vicinity whom I could talk and feel good about that. You come here and no problem there.
Okay, but that was not when you took the risk. I mean, you took the first risk when you were in that office.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I left my normal life that time. People at my age used to go out with friends and hang around, girlfriends and everything. I used to work 7 days a week.
I see.
Yeah, I used to work 7 days a week. The one day was a full day class, which my boss only was organizing in a different institute, and I used to travel like 2.5 hours one way on a Sunday, where I used to see my friends calling me from the playground that come and have play with me, and I used to carry my bag and go. That was tough.
It sounds like there will be a risk that you didn't have as much fun in your youth, but you took the risk to decide to take on the responsibility of that office. And if you didn't take that on, nobody would have noticed you.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think is that true, you think?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. In fact, I had a one-on-one confession with my boss actually. One day, I still remember, he called me. I said, I want to talk to you. And he called me the next day, which was an off day to the office. And it was only two of us. And he told me what is required for me to actually get a salary, which is 35% more, which I wanted at that time very badly. And he told me terms and conditions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I had to fulfill or commit to all that 5 requirements. And he just noticed, and from there on, the salary started increasing every 2 months.
Okay. So he initiated that, or you initiated that by
I initiated that. I initiated that.
You initiated the confession.
Yeah, because in our terminology, in our oil and gas terminology, we say that that safety valve set point was there and it popped up for me that enough of this work and enough of this less pay. Somebody at least come in front of me and tell me what I need to do to get more money and to get more successful.
Okay, and so yeah, sometimes it is a risk asking. So you took the risk, and you got noticed. Yeah. So this company was like a headhunter in Dubai, because you started advertising that you're working on all these little things, right? You're kind of
it's a company called Monster.com actually. It's a very
famous
one.
It's very popular in the US. You placed your ad and your roles and responsibilities on Monster.com and let them know your engineering.
Right.
Yeah. I just figured that people listening to this podcast and young people listen to the podcast, we always say if just one person can gather a little tidbit from your experience and apply it, then we have reached our goal of giving back to the community, because people might listen. We'll try and get these podcasts wherever podcasts are found, even in India. We'll advertise your story. So the company found you and you just packed up and came to India. What did your family say? I mean, you packed up and came to Dubai. What did your family say?
Actually, we were financially not that great that time, So as we say that, when we are at that stage, you have very less choices. So I convinced the family saying that, this is an opportunity, and all the main focus was that in India, if you compare in UAE, the salary goes by on an average 5 to 6 times.
Okay, the exchange rate. So if you work in Dubai, you'll be getting 6 times more.
Yes. And it was an international exposure. On the other hand, there were some few my well-wishers, like how you are right now, who motivated me and who actually pushed me to take this role. And that's how everything started.
Thank you. I appreciate you get motivation from me. But I get a lot of motivation from you just listening to your story. So what year was that you came all the way over here from India and your family said goodbye or whatever?
I got the appointment in November 2007 and I came here January 27th, 2008, 7 p.m. Dubai time.
You remember that date all too well, huh?
I know, it was drizzling actually. It made me feel good, but that was the only drizzle I saw in many years then.
like a life-changing date.
Yeah, it was.
So I know what company you work for now. So did you work for that company then or a different company?
No, at that time I got an appointment for a company called MIS, Maritime Industrial Services.
Sounds like shipping.
And it was earlier, yeah. And they had a division of oil and gas. Okay. And it was owned by, actually, it was wonderful to tell you this, that it was owned by one gentleman called Jerry Smith, who also was from the United States.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. So that time it was 30-year-old company, well established, good, but it was like a well-knitted family that time. I liked the culture there.
Okay. And so although it sounds like a shipping company, they had a division, oil and gas, and you joined their oil and gas division.
Yeah, actually, I was not knowing. They did some skill testing of mine at a kind of an engineer level when they asked me questions. But then they were supposed to get a complete offshore development project of a field which is there in Oman waters on the border of Iran. And I had not that much of exposure. So that was a big risk taken by me. That to say yes and started working. I single-handedly in process completed that project and it's running successfully.
Oh, once again you took the risk.
It was a risk. It was a risk because not exposure to the softwares, not exposure to the standards which are used, but it was like, okay, no problem. I have the right intent and I will make it happen. So that was the main driving force.
And you don't have to be exact, I'm imagining. You just have to realize you have the skill set, the background skill set, because you're willing to take the risk.
Right. Intent is important, actually. That's what I feel, your intent and going by your hunger and not doubting yourself, you will make it happen. That's what I felt.
You sure demonstrated you have that hunger to achieve. Now, I don't see you like that here exactly, like if you have that hunger drive. And I know it's a weird time in our world today and in the oil industry and energy industry. But do you feel that you still have that drive, that hunger for more?
Obviously, with age, it has come a little bit down. But if you see here, the system is completely different. My personality is such, and I want to change that for good, is that I need to be pushed into, and then if matters are left with me, I will take care of everything. That happened to me in Bombay when at the age of 26, as I was handling that office and the engineering works, But when there are so many people involved, I tend to, take a little bit of backseat and not, it's like only one person can catch the steering every time, when you're driving.
Yeah.
Not like you also want to share the steering. So I feel that let me be part of the team and let me get in whenever the team needs me.
And I noticed that part for sure, because you stayed quiet, and when I really needed you, you stepped up and jumped right into the relationship. So we grew the relationship, the friendship, and got our work done. And I really appreciate that. But I didn't.
Yeah, but having said that, sorry. But having said that, I think you saw me as a part of a team. But when you came, before that, it was like 3.5 years I was in this company as a single-handed person to take care of stuff. So at that time, I did everything, whatever going out of the way, I'll give you a simple example. The last plant which we commissioned, I was not supposed to be the commissioning person, and the person withdrew 3 days before the commissioning, and then I went ahead and I finished the commissioning. So I did everything in this company, and people knows this, which was required at that stage. But now that when we have people for everything, then I don't try to get involved in, because I did operation stuff also. I did a little bit of maintenance stuff also. I did definitely my engineering stuff. I did a little bit of project management, handling clients, a lot of things.
Right. So whenever you're thrown into the fire, you're all fired up and you know what to do. But when everyone else is there to take over the roles, you don't behave like if you need to take over all the roles. And that's a good lesson. That's a good lesson for other people. Jump in there when you're needed, but allow everyone else to be heroes when they're around. Because at that time, I'm picking up on it. At that time, you don't need to be everything because there are other people around. But if it was just you, you would do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very nice. So, there's a lot, still, even with coronavirus and our world changing, there's still a lot of people are going to want to get some advice and suggestions on what to do and how to proceed. What would you tell them? Let's say they were just asking you, what would you tell them as part of your story?
If I have to advise, considering the current scenario, I would definitely ask people to look for diversification. I would definitely don't start molding your life as what you saw for your, let's say, an elder brother or your father, or what has been done in the past, because it's been changing. The trend is all changed. So what I feel is that look for diversification rather than sticking yourself into one particular stuff which you have been doing or which you are, let's say, comfortable with. Explore. This is the right time. And basically, when I say diversification, is look for multiple sources of income. That's what I meant. In the smallest way possible. And I have learned this I have picked up that point from you also, when we had a lot of discussion that you need to put this here and you need to put that,
Yeah, people
remember the Starbucks calculation you showed me? Starbucks coffee calculation.
You remember that?
I still remember. Yeah, for sure. It makes so much sense, actually.
Yes, Alex, a lot of people who know me will know that idea of diversifying your career, diversifying your life, and diversifying your ability to generate income is always something I say, because when one thing falls apart, you have others. So the old saying is never put all of your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. I call it as Plan B. And now with this current scenario, it's about Plan C and Plan D and Plan E.
Right.
Because gone are the days when you are going to have, if you need 15,000 or 20,000 US a month, it's going to come from one source. It's going to be very difficult now.
Right.
At the same time, you have to maintain a life and you have to live a lifestyle. At that time, now is the time when you need to see that, okay, from where I can get this 2,000, 3,000, considering my current scenario. So that keeps your mind engaging, and that keeps you continuously challenging yourself, thinking out of the box. And that's the best way, actually. That's what I feel.
Yeah. Like I was saying, if you went to your old armada, you went to your old university, and you were to give a speech to them, you will tell them something like that. And that probably would be your keynote point about diversification.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Very good. So, and in a sense, from you personally and family, what happens from here, you think? How do you see the coronavirus future, or the new world future?
The new world is right now, wherever we are, let us first of all secure that source of income. As we say, and there are so many messages which flaunts on the social media saying that if you are still having a source of income, you should be thankful with the current scenario. Yes. That's the one thing. But then it's about this is also a time where you have to prepare yourself for any future kind of calamities which are going to come, which you have a control on or which you don't have a control on. So I personally feel, and this is okay, I'll keep it to myself, I'm not instigating someone, or I'm not asking someone to follow this, is that the party culture what we have, okay, you work for 5 days and you party for 2 days. I think that has to change a little bit, and you have to also start putting your mind in what you do on a weekend. I'm not saying don't party, but still you need to start thinking that what can be done in a better way? What can I do more,
And I guess something like, I'm trying to draw this example to myself, and this podcast, this episode is about you, not me. But the point is, we're on a podcast, and so we're trying to reach back and give back to the community. So on a weekend, I'm thinking to myself, and at my age group, I'm like, what can I give back? And so my goal is to find experienced souls like yourself to come on and talk to me about their experience, and then we will post it around the world. The whole idea is to give back, and so as I'm giving back, it feels like the weekend culture is changing. So I'm going to use that as my weekend culture. Continue. I'm going to follow your recommendation and continue.
I'm sorry. It is not something like, I want people not to enjoy life, but at the same time, there should be a more kind of inclination towards doing something, more and more, so that,
And again, that's why I wanted free talk, because free talk means that people can come on and start sharing. Because there was a time where it had different aspects of the world changing, where volunteerism increased. So this is one of the times where sharing might increase, because things are happening all over. And if we cannot share our resources, at least we can share our experiences. And Free Talk with Mr. B allow people to come on and share their experience. Yours have been awesome, and it's talking about the aspects the way you took the risk, and about diversification, and understanding, like we were saying, about not putting all of our eggs in one basket and still finding new ways of generating income, or like you concluded with making your weekends way more managed, or way more useful, balanced with partying. I like that. I think it's really, really nice. And the question is, would you come on again? Would you have some subjects you'd like to come on and tell us about, some experiences you'd like to tell us about? Because everybody has more.
Absolutely. If at all we can discuss few stuff on offline, and if I can contribute on stuff, wherein we can actually have a good session on this different eggs in different basket kind of stuff, a more precise one, what exactly can be done at all possible level. It's not about that, okay, I'm only earning few thousands and what can I do in that? I mean, we can actually go out, dig, explore, and come up with some solution which can definitely help people, some of the people, because everyone starts with one particular stage. It's not like you start at the top level itself. So in fact, I missed that point actually, honestly speaking. In my early days, there was no one to guide me, or there is no one to tell me that. My boss used to always say, like, whatever happens, you have to buy one piece of land. Even if you buy a size of a toilet in Bombay, you have to buy that land because it's going to help you. But that time it was not understood well, or probably nobody pushed us, or nobody step by step guidance was not there. But it makes so much sense actually.
For sure. We'll use this platform to talk about what can be done, and we'll also invite other entrepreneurs on, or people who are doing things, to tell us what they're doing, and maybe even advertise their new business and so on, to talk in detail about it and remind our audiences about where they can go and how they can find them online to like, subscribe, suggest, and share, and so on. Because that's the kind of economy we're in. We need to help each other. And if you and I are doing well, I think we should definitely give back to our communities. And
I 100% agree with you. And you know how much I like you. So it's going to be an awesome collaboration,
Yes, thanks. And whether here or in Mumbai, even I will help somebody start their own podcast if they want. And for us, we should be sharing it over there so other countries can hear the story about what to do, what we think you can do, and they can pick up a tidbit from it. So, hey, it was really nice having you on, and I really look forward to having you on again.
Thank you very much, Bart. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for having such a great talk on Free Talk with Mr. B. Talk to you later.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. B. See you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Free Talk with Mr. B. Please remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode.